Volkswagen Golf GTI, nearly 50 years old, 8 generations, and arguably the best known hot hatch in history. This week I'm taking a look at this 7th generation Mk7.5 to see how good the Volkswagen Golf GTI is. Welcome to another fast and fun video. So this specific Golf GTI is the Mk7.5, so registered in 2020. So actually the Mark 7s were in production from 2012 to 2019. This was registered after, so once the last generation, which is the Mark 8s, would have been released. So it's a very, very late 7.5. The 0.5 just refers to a in production uplift in the design. Most manufacturers do it. They don't want to keep the same design for 7 years. So this was an uplift in 2016 that Volkswagen did when they lifted it from the 7 to the 7.5. This one's only 120,000 miles, so it's only a couple of years old. It looks absolutely fabulous in this metallic red paintwork, these large 18-inch alloy wheels. And really I want to see how the Golf GTI has evolved, really, right from its first ever release back in 1974, 48 years ago. Incredible that we were now on the 8th generation. Over the last 10 or so years, the GTI has not been the quickest Golf. So obviously that was replaced by the Golf R, but that went with four-wheel drive rather than a front-wheel drive of the GTI. And this chased me down through some Wales roads a few weeks ago, and I'll put a link up to a road trip that I did hunting for the UK's best roads when I was in my Impreza STI, and I was probably pushing as much as you can safely do on a public road, and this was still all over the back of me. This in base form is 227 brake horsepower. This one's got the performance pack, which lifts power to 242 brake horsepower through a 2-litre turbocharged engine, but it's still front-wheel drive. It has got a limited slip differential, but this was mighty impressive. So 60 brake horsepower down on my Pro Drive Performance STI pack, and it stays pace. Styling is subtle, and it's what the Golf has always done, really. This rides on 18-inch alloys. You can see the brake calipers embossed with the GTI logo as well, and these 5-spoke, they look like diamond cut type of alloy wheels running on Bridgestone tyres. Very subtle looking. So you've got the GTI badge on the side of the car. And then as you've passed down, there's not a lot telling you this. This is a 5-door, obviously they came in 3-door as well. And at the back, twin exhaust at the back. It's just subtle. It's a sleeper. It is a understated hatch, and that's what the Golf's always been known for, really. Keep it simple, keep it looking sleek. Where the Golf really lifts itself is inside. This has the absolute stunning tartan seats. Absolutely love these seats. These remind me of Volkswagen Porsches from the 1980s. Absolutely love the seats there. You'll notice this one is the 7-speed DSG. gearbox, which I first used in a Mark 1 TT 3.2 many years ago. It's got a clearly modern day now touchscreen infotainment system, and then what's become quite well known is the digital dash that can be fully configurable to the driver, which we'll talk more about on the drive itself. Interesting, I suppose, to see is the engagement with when you go with some sort of Tiptronic DSG semi-automatic gearbox. Do you lose some of that driver appeal? Well, we'll find out when we take this for a drive. In the back, plenty of space as well. I mean, this is the Golf has grown now to such a level that it's actually a very spacious hatchback, especially in 5-door form. There's lots of headroom, there's lots of legroom, and as I say, with that tartan splashed everywhere, it looks fantastic. Difficult to say too much about how it looks. This is not the flamboyant, in-your-face Civic Type R or Megane Trophy R that shout and scream about who they are. People that drive these Golf GTIs just tend to want premium build quality, stealth looks, but performance when they need it. Stunningly looking car in a very subtle stealth type of way. Right, let's get in the car and let's take this for a drive. Okay, so let's see what this is like. Obviously DSG plays a big part. There is a 6-speed manual, 7-speed DSG. People haven't used DSG, it's twin clutch system, very, very good normally. As I say, my Mark 1 TT from around about 2000-ish was DSG, fabulous gearbox. So we'll see what that's like, see what this Mark 7.5 is. It's keyless entry, so foot on the brake pedal, press the button start. The digital dash all lights up, there's a big sweep of the needles with the rev counter on the left, speedo on the right, and it's all fully configurable through the steering wheel buttons. You can go into view and then you can go up and down and pick whatever sort of position you want, and that's the flexibility you've got with modern digital dashes. And obviously you've got this very large infotainment system, it's all touchscreen. I'm not going to put that on because I don't want any background noise, etc. So there is a mode button here which I'll use, goes through eco, normal, sport mode, and obviously you can flip it into use your panel shifts, and that automatically puts it into manual mode. So, but first of all, let's just go off in standard normal mode and let's see what this car's like. Steering on the Golf, just off centre. It's a little bit artificial, but as soon as you get the car turned into a corner, and actually arguably more you push the car, you can feel the weight tighten up in the steering, and suddenly it comes more alive. So in other words, more harder you push the car, more you start getting back through the steering. The engine, 242 horsepower, isn't enough. Yeah, for most driving, absolutely, it's more than enough. It feels like a good strong 242. Would you miss not having the 300 horsepower for a Golf R? For everyday driving, I just can't see it. And the brakes, really nicely servoed. They're not too grabby, they're not too bitey, they're quite progressive, but yet they've got good stopping power as well. Give you confidence to brake later into corners. And whether you're a lover or hater of semi-automatic gearboxes, the dual clutch system of the DSG, it is a joy. And it's so easy to switch now, just knocked it into manual, changing between normal, sport and manual, it's so quick, it's so easy. The engine pulls really from all revs. You don't have to be really right high up in the rev range. Red lines at 6.5, so not particularly high. And their own reports that it's low 40s. So a car, sporty credentials like this, and you're going to get over 40 to the gallon. That's impressive. And that little blip on the downshifts, if you rev it too high, it can be feel a little bit coarse. But there's no denying it's a quick point to point on some of these little B roads. It's a good weapon, and I'm not surprised it was able to stay with me when I was pushing on in my STI. Brilliant. So how do I sum up my time then with the Mk7.5 GTI? There's a lot to like about this car, for sure. 242 brake horsepower, the engine pulls well. If it doesn't rev out particularly well and it doesn't sound brilliantly, it's a little bit coarse at the higher revs. But it certainly pulls well enough. The DSG gearbox, it's well matched to the GTI in its nature as a fast way to go up through the gears. This dual clutch system works really, really well, and with the optional of sport modes and manual shifts as well. The chassis, the ride quality, the comfort, all scores really, really well. And you wrap it into the inside. These tartan seats, the actual digital dash, the infotainment system, it all feels premium. The steering wheel, the leather clad, but with the red stitching, it's all quality. It feels quality. It's got a huge amount of practicality, especially in 5-door format like this one. And the red paintwork, the 18-inch diamond cut alloys, it's all a really good rounded package. But there's a but. And for as good as the drive's been, for as much as I've enjoyed the last few hours, the one thing it doesn't do is excite me. I won't go away hunting for Golf GTIs on Auto Trader. If this was a Monday morning commute, I get it. A sporty hatch, everyday use, practicality, quality, great cabin, I get it. For an early Sunday morning blast, no. It's just a little bit too boring, a little bit too dull. Doesn't excite me, it doesn't pack you full of adrenaline. I won't go back home and start thinking of this car. For as good as it is, doesn't excite me. And that's no fault of the car. That's just, maybe it's just a bit too rounded. Maybe it's just a bit too usable. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up. Please subscribe. Stay tuned. Another video next week. Thanks for watching.